Hi, Elshad. So I've got your first set of essays here, which is great and shows that you're making great progress to improving your English. It's good to have some feedback on these and then improve on that feedback so that you can constantly be working on improving English for the exam. Very well done. So now then, your first essay was about entertainment and education as well. So it was the idea that some people think that schools have to be more entertaining, while others think that their sole purpose is to educate. And it was asking which do you agree with, and to be able to use specific reasons and examples to support your opinion. Okay, so I can see at the top of the page that you've done a plan, which is great. It helps you to navigate your way through an essay, especially when you have a time limit, which is good. So it's a really good skill to be getting into, even if it's only a very brief plan, but it just gives you a kind of map to find your way through. And I see that you're going on the point that it's about schools being more entertaining. Okay, so let's have a look at your writing. It is undeniable that schools play an important role in country's future and the whole world's future. In my opinion, schools should be a place where children learn this by enjoying rather than forcing them. This essay will discuss this issue using examples from actors and singers in countries like Brazil and Argentina to demonstrate points and arguments. All right then, so let's look at it a little bit closer. You've got some good points in here. So you've started with a little bit of an introductory phrase, then your opinion, which is good, and then stating what the essay will do. So this is a good structure for an introduction. Also, it's not too long, which is preferable. Okay. So it is undeniable that schools play an important role in a country's, so here we want possessive instead of plural, so COUNTRY', comma, and the world's, comma, future. In my opinion, schools should be a place where children learn through enjoyment rather than forcing learning. This essay will discuss this issue using examples from actors or singers and countries like Brazil and Argentina to demonstrate points and arguments. Okay, well done. Good. So a good introduction there. We've just changed a bit of the word order to make it slightly more concise. Okay. Firstly, good, well done. It is obvious that many children do not like going to school. Okay. This is due to the fact that modern technological era discourages children to learn at school. Okay, this is due to the fact that the modern technological era discourages children from learning, learning, at school. So enjoyable activities at school could, instead of can, could encourage them to go to school and improve abilities for the future. Okay, good, well done. For instance, by participating in a school theatre group, a child can improve their acting abilities, which might be beneficial for them in the future. Therefore, entertaining activities might help students to discover their talents and help them to improve their skills, we would say there. Okay. Good. Okay. So, at the end of a paragraph, normally it's good to refer back to the question, just to make it clear to the examiner that we are still on the, talking about the same question, and that we're not going too far from the point. So, we could say, for example, at the end of this one, this shows that a school's role is more than just educating. Okay, for example. Okay. Good. Secondly, entertaining activities at school increase children's creativeness and competitiveness, which are essential skills in today's modern world. Now, we can't say very essential. It's either essential or it isn't. So we'd say which are essential, no S, skills in today's modern world. This is because while children participating in enjoyable activities like sport games, this is because while children are participating, present continuous there, are participating in enjoyable activities like sports, instead of sport games, sports, they compete with each other or work as a team, which helps them to improve significant skills. And this might be very beneficial for a host country. Okay, so this is because while children are participating in enjoyable activities like sport, they compete with each other or work as a team, which can help them to improve significant skills, full stop. Now, I'm not sure what this next sentence is, what you mean with this one, and this might be very beneficial for a host country, because it's not too clear what you mean by that. So do you mean that this might be beneficial for sporting countries? For example. So, for instance, countries like Brazil and Argentina encourage sports at schools, and as a result, they export footballers to other countries for a significant amount of money, and this has positive effects on their economies. Okay, I see what you mean now. So would be very beneficial for a sporting country. Okay. This has positive effects on their economies. As a consequence, it is certainly the case that schools should be more entertaining to serve for the bright future of the country. Okay, well done. So in this paragraph, you've used a kind of rounding off sentence at the end of the paragraph to link it back to the question, which is just what we're looking for. Well done. Good. Okay, so to conclude, from the examples and arguments given, I firmly believe that entertaining is a must at schools to encourage children to go to school, and it is very useful to improve children's abilities in other spheres. Okay, in the future, we will certainly see such schools which are not only for educational purposes in many countries. Okay, good. So here we will certainly see schools which are not only for educational purposes in many countries. Okay, well done. Good. Okay, so you've got a clear introduction there. You've got 2 key points. So realizing talent in the first one, and the second one, being creative and competitive, so for the future of the country rather than just traditional education, is good. With this paragraph here, structurally, I would be a little bit careful because your first sentence should tell us what the paragraph is about. Now, we've got, it is obvious that many children do not like going to school, and then that they are discouraged from learning, but then we're ending with talent. So it would be good at the beginning to mention this so that we're not going too far away from the main point in that paragraph. Okay, so we want our paragraphs to be about 1 or 2 very specific points. So for example, we could say, firstly, it is obvious that many children do not like going to school when they only do traditional activities. However, it can be seen that entertaining activities that children enjoy can also help them to discover their talents. Then you could use your example, and then you could say, therefore, entertaining activities might help students to discover their talents and help them to improve their skills in the future. Okay, so see how we're tailoring that paragraph so that it is all about the key point instead of using a list of points. Okay, good, well done. Okay, so there's some really great vocabulary in here, which is really good to see. You've used some good examples to support your ideas. I would just say make those ideas slightly more tailored. Because this isn't a long essay, we can't include lots and lots of examples, but it's best to have 1 or 2 that are very specific and presented very well. Okay, but a fantastic piece of work there, well done. Let's go on to your next piece. Okay, so your second essay. So this is your second one, and it was doing an enjoyable activity where the child can develop better skills and more creativity than reading. To what extent do you agree? Use reasons and specific examples to explain your answer. Okay, so you've said that you agree in your plan, and that you're going to look at playing and European education systems using enjoyable activities, and then that this can increase creativity and competitiveness. Okay, let's have a look then at the essay itself. So, your introduction. There is no doubt that all parents' main concern is raising a well-rounded child. Good, well done. I believe to improve children's skills and creativeness, they should participate in entertaining activities. Good. This essay will discuss this issue using examples from European education systems and well-known creative activities to demonstrate points and arguments. Okay, good work. I would be tempted to mention reading here, just to show that you are aware that that is in the question, in the statement at the start. So, should participate in entertaining activities rather than just traditional activities, for example, reading. Okay, so you could use something like that. Firstly, it is obvious that children can learn many things by participating in enjoyable activities. Okay, so obvious that participating in enjoyable activities. This is because they like playing games or being active for the whole day rather than sitting reading a book. For example, many European countries use funny drawings to teach second language children. By doing so, children might have fun and learn new words, and remind them by remembering these funny activities. Okay, so we've got a good example here. So this is because they like playing games or being active rather than sitting reading books. Okay, so I would take out whole day there, so being active rather than sitting reading a book. For example, or we could say here, a good example of this, okay, is that many European countries use funny drawings to teach second languages to children. By doing so, children have fun and learn new words and can remember them more easily, for example. Therefore, although reading provides a lot of knowledge, it is beneficial for children to learn by participating in enjoyable activities. Okay, or dynamic, perhaps, so more entertaining, dynamic activities. Okay, good, well done. Good. This is a good paragraph, so it's nice and well-rounded. So you've started with your point, you've given some evidence, you've explained how it's relevant to the question, which is good, well done. The next one then, so secondly, skills such as creativity and competitiveness are very essential. So again, essential rather than very essential. It's either essential or it isn't. So are essential in today's competitive world. Today's TODAY''S, competitive world. And by participating in enjoyable activities, children can improve them. Okay, so today's competitive world and, comma, by participating in enjoyable activities, comma, children can improve them. Okay, this is due to the fact that while playing games, comma, children compete with each other and use strategies to win the game. For instance, activities like building Lego, instead of Legos, Lego, Lego, increases creativity. And winning rewards at the end of the game encourages children to win, and this improves competitiveness. As a consequence, such games or events enhance kids' KRDS apostrophe intelligence more than just reading. Okay, well done. Good. So another well-rounded paragraph there. So you've introduced it, you've got your evidence, and then you've got a finishing phrase there. To conclude, from the examples and arguments given, good, I firmly agree that children can learn many things by participating in activities that they enjoy compared to reading. In the future, comma, such approach will be necessary to use widely to raise smart generations. Okay, so such methods instead of such approach. Such methods will be necessary to raise smart generations. Okay, good. Okay, all right then. So, this is a good piece of writing. Well done. And it actually shows some improvement from the last essay as well. Just by the fact that in your paragraphs here, you've rounded them off by linking back to the question, which you didn't do every time on the last essay. So that in itself is really good. There is some really good vocabulary in here as well. What I would say as a general tip here is to be careful of the length of your sentences and just be wary of if there is anything that you can take out because it's not so important. So, for example, we had, there was one towards the end. Okay, so there are a couple of sentences where we've got words that we don't need, and also where we are making them longer than we need to. Okay, for example, in the middle here, about foreign languages, we could say by doing so, children have fun instead of might have fun and learn new words. And remember these words. So instead of using remind them by remembering these funny activities, we're making it shorter there. But yes, so just a few comments there, but generally a good piece of writing. So really well done. Fantastic. Good work.